All right, driving along in the DigiByte today, back in the DigiByte. One day only. Oh, that'll all change when my daughter goes back to school. I'll be making daily videos in the DigiByte because I'll be on a routine. I apologize for the wind. What is today? July. I don't even know. I really don't. 17th? 16th, 17th, 18th? 18th. July 18th, 2023. I lose track of time. It's going fast. After you get past Independence Day, July rolls through. Next thing you know, kids are back in school. I apologize. I got to have the window open, the air at the top here, instead of these windows to be too loud, because Westwood doesn't have air conditioning in the DigiByte, or at least working air conditioning. He's got a daughter going to college. You can't afford it. It's no big deal. It's not on the priority list. What is on the priority list? Teeth. This morning I went to the dentist, had to get one fixed because I had a tooth pulled, and between that tooth and the tooth in front of it, it needed some dental work, you know, and it was hard to get to. There was, you know, try and fill it. It was just difficult. I should be careful. This is the intersection where my daughter got plowed by a semi. Not her fault. So be very careful in the DigiByte because I'll be as flat as a bug, smashed. I'm not careful. Check your surroundings, make sure nobody's behind you. Okay, good to go. I'm going right, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal, not going left. But anyway, I had to get the tooth repaired. So I went in this morning and I said, man, this tooth that was pulled, the one behind it, is really bothering me. So I've got a CPAP machine that I put on at night. Lifesaver. I don't know how I did it without it. Man, I can't even imagine. Even when I was 21, you know, anyway, falling asleep, snoring, and took years off my life. Rabbit! But anyway, the CPAP machine, I wear that at night, and I wake up, and the airflow, just the, you know how it is when you have a tooth that's bothering you, the hiss, if you get cold air on it. Well, see, that doesn't happen. I can do that now. I go, and it's fine. I know you don't want to hear about my teeth, but it is what it is. That's why I'm working into stuff. So it doesn't bother me to that extent. However, if I eat anything cold, I mean, last night, just cherries in the refrigerator, you know, fresh cherries, taking it out and chewing it. I chewed it on this side, and it still was enough cold, just got there. I don't know how radiated there. Radiated? And it bothered the tooth, and I'm like, oh man, if I eat ice cream or something, I'm done. So it's the Westwood diet. You have bad teeth, you don't want to eat. But I told him, I said, you know, CPAP machine, when I wake up, that airflow, it's still bothering me from waking up hours ago. And I told the dentist there, I said, hey, you know, before you get started on this other tooth, let's take a look at this one. I'm done with it. You know, I said, I'll pull it out myself if I have to. He's like, oh, okay. He looked at it, x-rayed it. It's like, yeah, it's had a lot of work done to it already. It's crowned. It's probably decaying a little bit inside. I said, well, I'm pulling it. He says, oh, yeah, I mean, I get it. And so then there's another tooth. And I said, hey, take a look at this. Really hasn't been bothering me, but apparently it's got an issue. Might fix it with a root canal. Might fix it with a root canal. And I said, no, it's getting pulled. So now I got to get 2 teeth pulled. I turned 50 and my teeth are popping out like popcorn. Gone. Not going to be able to eat anything. And so I'm either going to have false teeth when I get older, or I just don't care. I'll just, like I said, I'll be on the Westwood diet. I'll have smoothies. You know, I'll be on that Amy Weir cleanse my whole life, having smoothies. I'm okay with that, though. Whatever. I'll probably eat a lot healthier. When it's inconvenient to eat, you just don't eat. It's like right now with the tooth, I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to eat anything. Just don't even want to eat. So anyway, enough of that rambling, enough of the dental stories. I don't even know what else I'm going to talk about. So I stopped at Dollar General after I went to the dentist, and I can't believe I don't get out much. I really don't. But I see at Dollar General, they're kind of, slow it down, Westwood. Take your left. Just thought maybe I should go this way for some reason. But I go to Dollar General, and I mean, that's like becoming a grocery store. I mean, I couldn't believe how much stuff was in there. And it's not affordable. I mean, it's no cheaper than anywhere else. I mean, the portions, with the portions and the cost, it's probably, you know, quite a bit more expensive, but it's very convenient. So if you just want something to eat, you go in there and you pay $4.50 for a little lasagna package. They had milk in there, they had frozen pizza in there, they had ice cream in there, all kinds of stuff. I mean, pretty much what a cereal, I mean, canned goods, I mean, just, and I mean, I've been into a Dollar General before, but it's becoming much more of the grocery store. And if you look in these small towns, they don't have grocery stores anymore. In a small town around here, I used to have a grocery store. I went in there when I was a kid. Not anymore. I've been closed for years. And there's a Dollar General now. And so that whole distribution network of these small stores, and I see a lot of Casey's general stores around here, and you see them in different regions, you know, of the country, different gas stations that are becoming food marts, kind of your catch-all. And that's what a lot of people are doing, I think. They just get hungry, they go, hey, it's open 24 hours, go pick up something to eat. Dollar General isn't, but I mean, I couldn't believe how much stuff they had there. Whole aisle full of refrigerated section. I mean, there was vegetable wontons. I'm like, well, I can eat those. And I look at $6.50 and I'm like, well, I gotta get 8 of them in there maybe? That's not enough. But I mean, they had a good variety. A Chinese section, you know, Mexican section, you know, garbage American section. They had all the stuff to eat. And I mean, that's just a sign of the times for me, to where, I mean, people are just like day-to-day shopping, you know, every other day shopping, and they get what they need right now. They're not able to, what the heck is this? They're not able to store things up to, you know, like, and here's the thing, if you can store things up and you've got some kind of income, you've got some kind of wealth, I don't anymore. I got a daughter going to college, but so I'm broke. But you could store things up. No air conditioning for the DigiBug for the foreseeable future. You could store things up if you had money. You can go to a place like Costco. Then you could buy it in bulk and get it cheaper. If it goes on sale, you could store it, put it in your freezer, have a bunch of food in it. And, you know, but if you're just barely making it, you know, like most people I think are right now, like I'm about to do, you just eat when you're hungry. So it's like, hey, I got a few bucks. Not even that. You get a few bucks and you go eat. You go buy something, you know, go get your milk, go get your meal, you know, pick up a bag of chips, I guess, and a bottle of soda, and then boom, you're done. Now, of course, that's all, you know, on the women and infant children card. You can buy soda and potato chips and everything's good. But no, it's just I see that now. You got a lot of these food deserts, where they call it food insecurity. That's the new thing. That's what I hear. Food insecurity, where you don't have food, you're insecure. You know, you have insecure about food, I guess. That's when you eat too much. I got food insecurity. That's me. Eat too much food. Insecure about the food, you know. That's like when you take a girl on a date. That's food insecurity, isn't it? Take a girl on the date and then they don't eat anything. They're just like, oh, and just nibble at it. And then they're starving, you know, they're hungry, but they don't want to eat in front of you because they're food insecure. Maybe that's the definition. I don't know. But I do see that trend to where there's just less and less available in, especially these rural areas where I'm at. These small towns, Dollar General's it. Man, that's pretty much it. You might have one grocery store in some of these small towns. Not too close to that. In some of these small towns to where you have an option to go there. But man, when you go to these grocery stores that are local, the cost is so high. I mean, it's just so much more expensive than buying it anywhere else. And like I said before, the portions are so small. But anyway, I went into Dollar General and I paid with Litecoin. It was like 13 bucks. I bought, you know, just little odds and ends stuff to restock, you know, things we need, things we're going to go through. Not much, but 13 something. And I paid with the Coinbase card. I haven't used that very much, but the Coinbase card seems to work pretty well. It's good to have options since the Litecoin card's no longer able to be used because the bank that was backing it pulled out of crypto completely. But see, that's all going to come back because you got these ETFs and the big money coming into it. And so they just want to set it up on their own terms is what they want to do. So let's scare all the little fish out and then the big fish come back in. Next thing you know, you're going to have a chase crypto card where you can, you know, whatever, her BlackRock ETF card. But they're going to manage the system. That's what they want to do. They want to put all the control mechanisms in. All the people that were the startups that built it from the ground up, you know, hey, let's build this out. Let's integrate with the existing financial system and make it work. See, they had good intentions, you know, let's bridge the gap. Well, then they shut it all down on the banks, say, oh, no. Government scares the banks, maybe they're colluding. The banks say, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm afraid of regulation, so I can't back this crypto card anymore. We can't be involved in crypto. So all these startups, and there's several of them that I even know about personally, to where they start a crypto business, they're offering a service. Next thing you know, the bank that they're using shuts down. We're not doing crypto anymore. So these people are out of luck. All the effort, all the labor, all the energy, all the planning, everything that they did is shot. But what's going to happen? Oh, they're going to mainstream it, and we're going to have all the big players, and we're going to have Jim Cramer talking about crypto, and we're going to have, you know, Mr. Blunderful. What's his name? I don't even know his name. Mr. Blunderful from Canada. You know, he's going to be talking about crypto and how great it is for the U.S. And, you know, then they'll have all these cards again, and they'll have all the gateways back in place, but they'll just control them the way they want to control them. You know, not the little guy. It's like new technology comes out, you know, and what happens? Well, Microsoft buys it up, Ford buys it up, GM buys it up, because it might make things more efficient, especially in the auto industry. Got technology that comes out, you know, the tire that lasts forever. You know, we can't have that. We need to buy that up and shelve it. So, yeah, they don't want to release that technology. And just like in crypto, they don't want to let the little fish, the little guys, have a piece of the pie, you know, even though they built everything. So they're going to run it the way they want. So anyway, Coinbase, yeah, making deals with the devil here. Going to Dollar General, using a Coinbase card, paying with Litecoin, doing like the trilogy of sins, you know, the reverse trinity of evil here. But whatever, I just like to test things and make sure they work, because when I want to use something, I want to be able to use it. And so today, I'm like, okay, that was easy enough. Bing, bang, boom, done. Use the Coinbase card, pay with Litecoin, out the door, simple. So it's good to test these things out. I know the Crypto.com card, you can still use that and pay with crypto. It actually sits there, your crypto sits there. And, well, here's the thing with Coinbase. With the Coinbase card, you put your crypto in there, and say you put one Litecoin in there. Well, it could be worth $91, it could be worth $90, it could be worth $95. It fluctuates with the price of the Litecoin, the dollar price, and that's how you're spending it. You're spending it in dollars. So if you got one Litecoin in there, that one Litecoin changes in dollar price. So you might be sitting in the car saying, oh, Litecoin's starting to move up. I better go in there and buy something quick. You know, so I can get it at a $93 Litecoin instead of a $91 Litecoin if you're buying things. So it varies. So it's at the point of sale when you actually purchase the product that it converts that Litecoin into the dollar amount that you're paying. Crypto.com card's a little bit different, to where you top it up. You top up the card. So you can have one Litecoin in your Crypto.com account. Can't even speak, and I still have teeth. Wait till I don't have any. So the Crypto.com account, what you do is you put one Litecoin in there, and that Litecoin sits in there as it is, you know, $91, $93, fluctuating with the dollar price. But what you do is you top up the card. So you actually say, hey, I want to put this one Litecoin on the card. And at that point, it'll say, okay, the price of Litecoin's $92. Puts $92 on the card. Maybe a little bit less. They might take a little bit of a cut to transact it, to transfer it, exchange it. But that's one where you could game it, I guess. You could say, oh, Litecoin pumped up to $100. And so you take it and you throw that one Litecoin on there. Oh, Litecoin dipped down to $90 again. It's line, it's anchor that it's tied to. $90 seems to be what it is. Hey, you know what? I don't care. It still works, and it's still very easy to use. And so that's what I do. I mean, keep it at $90 for a long time so I can accumulate more. The problem is I can't accumulate more, so that's just typical. When it's about $300, then I'll be able to accumulate. I'll have money to do it, and I won't want to do it. Anyway, so yeah, it's good to find those ways to spend this stuff out and actually use it. It's not necessarily the spend aspect, it's just the proving the case that there are tools out there. So let's figure out what those tools are in case you do need to use them. They come in handy. I think you can even use, I don't know if you can do it with Coinbase card. Maybe you can. I know the crypto.com card, I think you can take to an ATM and actually get cash out. So you could cash out your crypto at the ATM. And I don't know what the limits are, but I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, but that's what it is. You know, you got to realize you're going to need money, different kinds of money for different things as we go forward. You may need cash, you know, you may need crypto, you may need, you know, a credit card, debit card, whatever it is. You may need to pay in different ways. You may need silver. And if we need silver, we're probably in a lot of trouble. But silver still works. But if we get back to using just silver, then something devastating has probably happened. EMP has hit the planet. No power, no digital transactions, nothing. Silver and gold. Or nickels. Nickels from the bank. Just saying. 75% copper, 25% nickel. Pretty easy, recognizable. Kind of holds some sort of value. I don't know, you know. Yeah. So I haven't made a video in a couple of days. Last week I did a little bit more. I had that interview with St. Jerome, Crypto Experiences by St. Jerome. I may be seeing him again this weekend. I know Dad's going to go to the coin show with him. I may go. I don't know. We'll see. It's this Sunday. It just depends how the weekend goes, what's going on. I wouldn't mind going. It's always good to get a feel for it. I mean, silver is kind of trying to move up a little bit. I don't know, this system, I don't know what we're going to do about it at this point. The fiscal year, I'm not sure when it ends at the governmental level and what impact that has, but I still think that we're going to be in for a rocky fall. September, October time frames, again, they like to pull stuff. That's when they like to kind of pull the pin on things and start collapsing things. I don't know how much longer you can run this Ponzi scheme, honestly. But I thought that in 2008. How long can they run the Ponzi scheme? You know, and then they just kept papering it over, and it's just the trillions that are owed. I mean, next year we're going to owe $1 trillion. Well, actually, starting this fall, the U.S. government is going to owe $1 trillion a year on its debt. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. I mean, how can that be? $1 trillion a year. It's crazy. That's just money you got to come up with. I mean, I don't know what the total tax base is. I think I looked at one time, the tax revenue was like $2.5 trillion a year, something like that. So if that's the case, you're spending $1 trillion out of $2.5 trillion a year just on interest. It's like on your credit card debt. I mean, how do you survive? I guess you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you can't anymore, until there's just not enough money. But if you can print unlimited amounts of money, I mean, and it's debt-based, you're going to have that interest attached to the debt, and at some point you just run into a wall. I don't know. So keep looking at crypto, looking at the good cryptos, the ones that you can hold in your possession, the ones you can spend. I mean, you got to look at the ones that are on the big platforms. You look at Venmo, you look at PayPal, and then there's this new exchange coming out that, I don't know, a couple of the big players are putting together. I can't remember their names. Oh, it's Charles Schwab and some other company. I don't know. But two of the big mainstay players are putting together an exchange, and Litecoin's on it. Litecoin's on Venmo, Litecoin's on PayPal, Litecoin's on every ATM, Litecoin's on every exchange. I mean, so you got to look at that. But the big four seem to be Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. It's what is kind of the system coins that have been, you know, anointed, so to speak. So do your own research, get involved in those things that you think are going to work, and then test them out. Make sure they work, like I did today. You know, I was able to, you know, easily pay with my crypto at Dollar General in the middle of a cornfield. It just works. So look at those platforms that support the cryptos. Ideally, if you can go peer-to-peer, that's the best way. You know, if you can get somebody to take crypto directly and start building that ecosystem out, that's the most important thing. So, you know, again, these banks, you know, they're allowing crypto to work with their systems and Visa and MasterCard and that kind of thing, but you never know. They may say at some point, we're going to pull the plug and make your life difficult. So always be seeking out those tools to where you can use those types of money. But ideally, you don't need those tools if you just accept it peer-to-peer. In other words, I send it to you, you send it to me. That's what it's for. That's what this crypto is invented for. Look at this Satoshi white paper. And you will see that that was the idea, a purely electronic peer-to-peer transaction that's outside of a financial institution. So an independent transaction on an independent network, you know, the Bitcoin network, the Litecoin network, the DigiByte network, you know, those Bitcoin Cash network, those networks running independently, validating transactions outside of government. So it's just a matter of our giving power and showing and seeing value in it. See, we see value in the illusionary dollar. The only reason it works is because we say, oh, we're going to continue to use it. It feels good, you know. Oh, I can still buy stuff with it. I mean, would it be a better place if we all said, you know, obviously we're all getting robbed by it, but if we all realize that and we all say, isn't there a better way? Can't we create our own form of money outside of this and just exchange it amongst ourselves? Well, we can do that. It's already been invented. You can use Bitcoin and pay higher fees. You can use Litecoin, pay very minimal fees for transferring a lot of money. You can pay DigiByte, paying hardly any fees, you know, for transferring your value. You can use these networks, and it's just a matter of believing in them. And there's no reason not to, because they work. Litecoin's been working for almost 11 years straight, nonstop. I mean, that's it. You ever heard of a Litecoin payment network? Maybe look at it that way, start saying it that way. Hey, you ever used the Litecoin payment network? I know you use the Visa network. Have you used the Litecoin network? The fees are a lot lower. Or minimal. Hardly anything. You know, if you're taking it directly, you're not getting any fees. You know, it's just like handing somebody digital cash. What merchant wouldn't want cash? And I get it. Maybe it's fraud and, you know, nobody wants to count it. But you don't have that issue in the digital. I mean, you know, if somebody took Litecoin, they're not paying the credit card transaction fees that they have to pay as a merchant to Visa and MasterCard. No, they're getting the money. You send it to them. You pay the actual send fee. You know, so if it's a penny to send, you know, $13 in Litecoin, okay, I pay my penny, probably less than a penny, but I send the $13 and you have it. You got the full amount in your possession. And you can do with it what you want. And if you take it back to dollars, yeah, there's probably going to be like a minimal, you know, exchange fee, however you do it. But it's still cheaper than using credit cards or taking credit cards and paying that fee. So, I mean, getting people's heads around that, hey, have you looked into the Litecoin network? Fees are really low or zero. How do I do that? Well, you can set it up and I can pay you in it. You know, look, here's the Litecoin. And it's just having the discussion and starting that. If we get into a place where we build our own ecosystem out with these new economic tools, these peer-to-peer electronic transactions outside of a financial institution, these networks that are running independently and decentralized, if we start using those things, that's how we affect change. And I mean, but if we don't do it and we just sit and talk about it and say, oh, price go up. Look at my moon bag. Do you use it? No, I'm just looking at it go up. Okay, well, you're basically, you know, holding a share of something, I guess, a stock almost. You got to use this stuff. It's money. It's the whole reason we have it. Money. And if you don't use it as money at some level, at some point, then it's not money anymore. All right, just a store of value. But eventually that store of value has to be used as money. So you should probably learn how to use it as money before you need to use it as money. All right, hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Always trust yourselves. Do your own research. Don't let the vampire steal your energy. Put faith in yourself. All the answers are inside because you're connected to something greater, okay? All right, love you all. Trust yourselves.